Thank you everyone. So very good morning to you all again. So first of all, I would like to say thank you for giving this opportunity for everyone to participate and learn and improve our knowledge. So let me quickly give a short description about me as well. So I'm Matheesha. I'm from Sri Lanka. So I'm currently working as RPA consultant at eGuardian. So basically, I graduated in 2019. So I'm currently reading my master's as well. So let me quickly give a description about my use case as well. So since we are so as a guardian, we are playing a value-added distributor role. So we are representing many different technologies in global technologies. So in that case, we are conducting different trainings for our customers as well as partners. So in that case, so basically we need to get their feedback. So once we completed our training, we need to get their feedback. So currently, so all the feedbacks are happening through manually. So what we are doing is, so once we completed the training, so all these trainings are happening physically. So that we are giving a feedback form manually, and they need to fill that feedback form, and then they need to pass that or give once they completed that, they need to submit to the HR. So that's the current as is process. So what I have done is, so I have completely automated this end-to-end process through the Uipath platform, right? So this is the in high level, this is the use case. So hope you all, everyone can see my screen as well. Right. So I hope I have given the brief description about the process. So end-to-end feedback form. Once they provide the feedback, so I have automated the end-to-end process. So the tools I have used to create the PDF documents, as a the consultant, I know. So the PDF document, process design document, is very important for developers. So I have created the PDF document using Uipath Task Capture. So I have embedded the machine learning part here. So for that, I have used Uipath AI Center to get the feedback, to get the input. I have used Uipath Apps to store the feedback and the relevant details. I have used Uipath Data Service to develop this the automation. I have used Uipath Studio. Then to run the process, I have used Uipath Unattended Robot. Right. So this is the as-is process. So I have explained this already. So basically, employees get the feedback from HR, then they need to fill that manually. Then they need to submit that manually to the HR. So that's the process currently we are handling. So I have completely automated this using Uipath platform. So in here, what will happen is user will access the Uipath apps through a URL. So then they can input the feedback through that apps. So then in the background, once they submit that, so based on their feedback, I have created a logic based on the machine learning. So I have tried to understand the sentiment of that feedback. So based on the sentiment, robot will send an automatic email to the user that saying, so it can be a negative feedback, it can be a positive feedback. Based on that, bot will send an automatic email, customized email to that user, right? So then finally, bot will record that record or the feedback in Uipath data service. So the benefits, I would say, definitely we can improve the customer satisfaction. So then we can improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of the process. So basically the reliability, data accuracy, everything. So since this process currently happening through manually, so we can improve all of these things once we automate that from end to end. So better customer experience, the productivity, everything we can improve using this end-to-end automation. So let me quickly showcase the process as well. So this is the Uipath app I have developed. So if you go to edit one, so you can see all the validations and everything I have configured through this application, right? So if you go to some, so if you go to this events, you can see I have created each and every rule using conditions as well, right? So this is the form, the end form, what the user will see, right? So let's put a simple use case. So user can add the date and the name, the email, so then training name. So let's say Uipath citizen developer. So then let's say he's not satisfied with the training content. Right. So once he submit that, so in the background you can see what is running now. Thank you for the valuable time, and now I will get an email with respect to that. So let me refresh my inbox. So here now you can see so this is a customized email. So based on the sentiment, so I have hosted the machine learning model in Uipath AI Center. So then based on the sentiment, user will get a customized feedback reply email from the robot. So since this is a negative email, you can see your feedback will help you to improve the delivery better terms of the quality of the standard. We will improve our training. So likewise, I will provide the user saying taking as a negative feedback, right? So likewise, we can put a positive feedback also. So here you can see all the validations I have handled through this application itself. So the user can't submit without any fields, right? So let's put another one. So different email. So satisfied with the content. This is a simple feedback. So now you can see for this process also bot is running, Untitled robot is running, and the thank you message is also you can see. So it will take some time to get the reply email. Right. So in the meantime, I will show you. Yeah, I got the email. So let me. If I go to inbox, so I can see recently I got an email. So this is basically based on the feedback. So basically it will show this is as a positive feedback, right? So this is the email reply. So let me showcase the data service aspect as well. So if you go to Uipath data service, so you can see all the feedbacks automatically stored in the Uipath data service, where the final HR can see all of these things in digital way. So they don't need to keep or record all of these things in manually. They don't need to use the filings or anything. So they can use this data service to store all of these records. So if anyway anytime they want to access to any feedback, so they can use this data service to get all the details. Right. So then I will showcase the workflow as well. So since this is a straightforward process, I have used sequences. So I have not gone with RD framework. So because this is not a transactional process. So since this is a straight away linear process, I have used sequence. So you can see retrieving the machine learning model I have deployed in the AI center. So then deserialization JSON to get the output. So then based on the output, I am dividing two conditions, two logics to send the email. based on the sentiment of the user feedback. So this I have connected with this process with the Uipath apps, as well as I have connected the Uipath apps with data services. So yeah. So I will showcase the PDD document as well. I have created the PDD document to make sure to develop the process in a good manner, in a I would say with the best practices. So this is the PDD document I have developed. So I have developed using the Uipath task capture. So as this process, as well as you can see the things I have captured here. So I have shared with this with the panel as well. Yeah, so yeah, that's all from my end. So if you have any questions, you can ask.
Thank you, Thanu. Bang on time. So thank you for that.
Thanu, Lahiru here.
Yes,
just just a small question. So when you're saving the data in the data service, do you also save the sentiment that you generate through the ML model?
No, not actually. So I'm just saving the feedback, the actual feedback the user sent.
Okay.
So if we need, we can customize that as well. We can, since we have got the value through this studio, we can put that as well. So in this case, I haven't used that. So just I got the sentiment value, the feedback.
Okay.
Thank you, Lahiru. Anmol?
Yeah. Hi, Thanu. Can you please pull up your app?
Hello.
Yeah. Am I not audible?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Okay. Can you please bring up your app?
Okay. Let me share my screen. Yeah.
So the validations that you've put in, so it only checks for the empty field, or it also checks whether the email address that has been entered is a valid email address? Currently,
it's only validating the fields. So I haven't customized so to get the email address validation. So we can do that as well. So currently for this demo purpose, I have developed to get the fields validation. So whether it's empty or not.
As of now, if you enter an email address which is not valid, how is the app responding?
So we need to set a validation for that. So for this purpose, I haven't create a validation for this email address. So then bot will not send an email for that email.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anmol. Thank you, Lahiru. Now, Thanu, really impressive use case, right? From the storytelling part, it's very, very good. Now, you're talking about training feedback here. Yeah. Is this training feedback, how do you see this use case being replicated in real world on a larger scale? What are your views on that?
So in large scale, so I am planning to deploy this in our at eGuardian in next week. So with all the validations, so with the time I haven't completed all the validations. So that's the issue. So the thing is, what we can do is we can create we can deploy this application in a VM and host the bot in a VM. So then users can access that applications through that VM. Then they can put the feedback. So then in the background, bot will run the process and send that email. So definitely we can deploy this once we completed that validation. So straight away we can put this into production.
Okay. Thank you, Thanu. That answers my question. Any one of the observers or panelists want to ask any questions to Thanu?
Yeah, I have one question. It's not a technical one, but because you mentioned that most of the feedbacks you were taking, our company was taking when it was in physical format. So in last 2 years, mostly everything was online. So how you were taking feedback during that time?
So we in that period we haven't conducted any trainings for Uipath. Actually, basically this is the feedback forms are basically developed for Fortinet. It's not for other trainings. So we have a product called Fortinet. So we are conducting this. So it's a mandatory thing. So in that case, we haven't conducted any trainings, physical hands-on technical trainings in that period. So now, so in last, actually not last month, last year, December onwards, we have started all of these things. It's not, we have not actually, say we have held the trainings around 1 year.
Okay.
So
Thank
it's a mandatory to conduct all these trainings in physical way. So since we need to access all these firewalls and everything, so it's mandatory to do all these things in physical way.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Lairu, Anmol, final comments on the use case?
Just a few things where you can actually improve. So along with this, it would be nice if you can also improve several other fields, such as you can get the feedback related to content specifically and how they presented and so on, just like the usual feedback forms that you guys have, right? Because I have also attended some workshops in eGuardian some years back. So those things can also be included in this. Just a thought to improve.
Yeah, so that's a very good suggestion. So I need to do some customization. So before moving to production.
Yep.
I would love to see a real, feedback form in future, with having the star types wherein I can drag and drop. I don't know if Uipath apps can do that, or if, you have explored that. Definitely Uipath might have that on the product roadmap. If it is not there already, if it is there, that's good, right? Explore that, it's all about presentation. If you show some glittery stuff on the front, back end, you are anyways good at, right? That takes from 70% to 100%. So do that, and that would help you in future as well, Thanu. Thank you so much for your time, Thanu.
Thank you.
I hope you win. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity as well. Thanks.